everybody. We just left Fargo, North Dakota. We're continuing our journey towards the border.
We're on 94 West. This part of 94 West is very straight. I think it was made with a ruler. 75 miles an hour speed limit. We don't get anywhere close to that. There's a little bit of a headwind coming out of the 11 o'clock position. So you're kind of crabbing the steering wheel into the wind the whole way.
As I was saying, we just visited my son, and now we're heading towards the border.
Yeah.
And what spot of the border did you say we're crossing?
We're crossing in the North Portal area into Saskatchewan. That's from North Dakota into Saskatchewan. It goes toward Regina. I'm saying that right. And then it goes on a diagonal northwest pattern toward Fairbanks. Well, what did we learn about our travel today?
So we just had an alert pop up that there's wildfires that have closed down some of the highways that we are taking.
Yeah, Highway 97. I don't have a map in front of me, but I believe that's part of British Columbia or Alberta. It's one of the two.
97 and 77.
It goes through Fort Nelson, and they had some wildfires closing down Highway 97. So we haven't looked to see if there's an alternate route. I would suspect that there is. They have updates on the Canada website. We haven't looked at all of them. We've looked at a couple. There's supposed to be another update coming out at 12 o'clock noon local time. I think that's still a couple hours away. Hopefully the wind shifts direction and opens up that highway for through traffic, but the Canadians have decided to evacuate the town of Fort Nelson, so everybody's leaving. So
what's our plans if the highway shut down?
Well, it's a couple days travel away, so hopefully it opens back up before we get to it, but it's still some concern to see if there's an alternate route. But we can ask the border agent if they are familiar with it, but it's still a little far away. We're talking a couple of days travel at a minimum before you're up near Fort Nelson. So I'm sure the situation will be different, hopefully better. Hopefully get some rain. I guess rain always helps. They're attributing the wildfire to a downed tree that knocked a power line down and it sparked. Due to the dry conditions, the wind, and lack of moisture, basically it started a wildfire. And they have some 100 and some wildfires in the area, but
yeah, there's 119 active, but they say 9 of those are out of control and threatening.
I guess this is one of those 9.
And the weather conditions being that there wasn't as much snow, that has contributed to it. 2023 had a bad wildfire season, and it's looking like this year is going to be the same.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
Wow, our lady's just talking to us out of nowhere. Sometimes our navigation lady just starts talking
to us.
She's never asking us what we would like for dinner or anything.
No.
Kind of rude. So what have you thought so far of this journey?
So far it's been good. I like the way the motorhome drives. It does very well.
This windshield's all streaked up. This is a real pretty spot. the campground now. Yay! It's still really bright out. And it's 7 o'clock here. Not a whole lot going on around here. Nice and peaceful. It's been a really windy drive today. I like the houses out here have Christmas tree fortresses around them, like big walls.
I think they use it to help block the wind.
Yeah, I'm sure it is to block the wind, but I like how it looks.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a house surrounded by Christmas trees. Maybe you get more presents.
Maybe so.
How nice this green grass looks.
In a quarter mile, your destination will be on the left.
Yeah, it looks pretty. I don't know why she's still talking, because I shut her off. Ooh, look at that windshield. You can really see how bad it looks
In the sun.
in this bright sun. I'm excited to just stop moving
Yeah.
and to eat something. I got a little bit of a headache.
Looks like there's a sign.
Sign,
Like
everywhere
signs,
sign.
They give you information.
Oh, this is the camper's registration sign. $10 per night with electricity or $5 per night without electricity. What shall we pick?
I don't know. I really need water more than I need electricity.
Well, you can't have that. And don't go swimming. There's no lifeguard on duty. Swim at your own risk. Oh, they got a little playground.
Yeah.
Let's
I
see.
guess you come back and you slip it in there or something. So where's the camping area? Oh, over there.
Oh, this is really nice. Look at this. Gorgeous.
It's pretty.
Make a U-turn.
No, I refuse. I shut her off and she's still talking. Oh, looks like
Your destination is on the left.
a nice place to fish. One way, baby.
Let's see. Are they all backing sites? Because
Oh, there's a special RV spot all the way on the other side. They got their own little dock over there.
and this is cute. These are electric sites too.
Huh.
How does this work?
Let's find out. It's a little shot of the North Gate Dam campground. It's pretty cute. I like it. I could live here. Got a cute little playground. Swings by the water.
Yeah, we had a gold mine at this campground. It's ran by North Dakota, the state of North Dakota. So it's a state campground. And I love the rates. $5 for dry camping or tent camping, $10 for electric. There's no water or sewer at the site, but you can fill your water tanks up by the front of the campground.
Just no dumping.
That works for us. We were hoping that we could get some water so we could take some good showers. We've been doing a couple of dry camping nights. So
Check out this water.
yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Once again, though, it is windy.
Yeah,
But I guess the wind keeps the bugs away.
I like the nice breeze.
Breeze. This is a Key West breeze right here.
So, look at this view. Just look at it. Look how green this grass is. You gotta love it. I think I'm gonna live here.
Did I lose you to North Dakota?
I think so.
You ain't seen no other states yet, really.
Okay.
You're gonna love every state you stop at?
Maybe. It's better to love everything than to hate everything.
That's true.
Don't be a grumpy Gus
That's right.
or a negative Nancy.
So this campground just does a loop here. And I don't know how many sites. I'm guessing there's probably at least 20 sites.
At least.
There's a couple sites that are on the other side of the lake.
I just love how beautiful this sky is. Look, it looks like we're gonna take off and fly. We got our wheels up off the ground a little bit. What's your number? He said they're not too fussy here. Trying to get my digits. Gonna go check out this dock. Look at this sun. It's so gorgeous. Water's a little high. It's like a good fishing spot. Nice size.
What a beautiful place, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's spots open right on the water.
There are.
We didn't take one of those spots
I
because
was told by our neighbor that this place will be full in June, that you won't be able to get a spot.
we got lucky because it's still early in the season.
Yeah.
This place is pretty empty right now. You can see why it gets full. I wonder what you gotta do to have that spot way over there. That's a special spot.
I know. I think there's 2 campers over there.
Just one. Look at that. That's pretty cool. No, they got a little pavilion.
Yeah, that's really isolated over there.
I'll take it.
So to get there, you have to drive over this dam, which you can do. I mean, you can see the motorhome did it. When we came in, I didn't see that option. We just came to the.
That's probably some
normal
kind of
sites.
special setup. Maybe they're a caretaker or something.
Perhaps.
Look at
So
this
the
gorgeous sun.
It's supposed to set around 9:19, 9:20, something like that.
What time is it now?
It is 8:38.
8:38. So we're gonna have longer days. We're gonna have real longer days here shortly when we cross the
Sunset
border.
is 9:19.
Hopefully we have internet
But you know what?
when we cross the
Also,
border.
There's supposed to be, the Northern Lights is supposed to be viewable all the way down to the Carolinas tonight. So we're going to have to get up when it's dark.
Ooh,
See, the Northern
wouldn't
Lights
that be cool?
They're out all the time, but because it's light, you can't see them. So,
So what time do we gotta get out there?
and you need to be away from the city also to be able to see them. Guess what? This is a perfect viewing area to be able to see them. Now that way is kind of north. North is kind of off that way a little bit. So just look to the northern sky in an open field area that's not near
At what
the city
time?
lights. It could be any time, really. It could be
Just as long as it's dark?
as long as it's dark enough, yes. Before the sun creeps up in the morning, so sunrise here. Sunrise here is at 6:10, so I would say like 5 o'clock. 4 or 5 in the morning would be optimal.
I could set up a hammock out here and just take a snooze.
And the mosquitoes aren't bad. The front of the RV is full of mosquitoes.
It's pretty bad.
And if you happen to walk in a pocket where there's no wind blowing, like behind a building or something, like the mosquitoes were all over the Jeep because it's trying to get heat. And the mosquitoes are really thick right now, but with this breeze, they're not bothering you. So, we have our big border crossing tomorrow.
Yeah, have you decided which one you want to go to?
No, they got 2 here actually. They have which I didn't know, but we saw signs for it. They have one that has hours on it, but it is open tomorrow during the day for travelers.
That's the North Gate.
It's called North Gate entry. Or you can go to North Portal.
Is that one 24 hours?
That one's 24 hours. So you could go
That
to
one's
either
probably
one.
a lot more busy, don't you
I
think?
think it is. I think it will be because you got all your commercial trucks have to go that way, especially on the weekend. They could go through North Gate during the week.
Yeah, North Gate only allows travelers on the weekend.
But since it's Sunday, there'll be less traffic if we can avoid the trucks. So yeah, we'll probably try Northgate tomorrow. And I think they both come together on the other side in the same town of North Portal. Because we'll still have to go across them through North Portal and on up.
Hopefully nobody is in a bad mood and we have a nice person.
Yes, hopefully so.
It's funny, I've gone to Germany and Israel and all these places and never had any problems going through the customs or anything there. But I've heard stories about the Canadian border and how, I don't know what the right word would be, maybe stiff they are, like non-humorous.
I've gone back and forth about 6 times through the ports, and I've only had problems with the last 3, but they were kind of self-induced problems. I mean, it wasn't anything that I had that I wasn't supposed to have.
So you got snarky with them is what you're saying?
Well, I was towing a boat that wasn't mine, so they thought that was a for-hire tow, so they wanted to see your logbooks. Well, it wasn't, but it was. It was a for-hire, but I didn't realize that you can't do that and not have logbooks.
Yeah, do your research first.
Yeah, so they gave me big problems. They sent me to a different port of entry. They escorted me to the port of entry and told me not to deviate from the path. And one in front, one behind. They sent the boat that I was towing was shrink wrapped, so it had to go through an X-ray machine. And I got this big spill about if we find anything in there that you're not supposed to have, any kind of contraband, you're going to be liable. I was like, well, I don't know what's in there. I didn't wrap the boat. I didn't pack the boat. I just picked it up. So let's just hope you don't find nothing.
So everything went well?
Everything went well, and they let me deliver the boat, but they didn't like it. They slapped me on the wrist, and I was supposed to pick up an RV and take it back to Alaska, but they would not let me do that. They didn't even like that I asked them if I could. They smacked me on the wrist, and they gave me 24 hours to drop the boat and come back through the port of entry.
Oh.
And it was real close to the border. It was over in Washington, and I forget the exact town, but it was right across, I think it was 50 miles on the other side of the border. They did give me time to spend the night, but I didn't. I went down and I came back. Got through the port.
Well, hopefully tomorrow you're not snarky.
So every time they've said I'm inadmissible, they've allowed me to go through. So hopefully that's something in the past, and they're not going to bring it up tomorrow. I should be okay.
Don't be snarky. You just got to learn to talk to people in a nice kind of way.
That's why I'm going to let you do that tomorrow. And if they have questions, then we'll just have to pull over and go inside and answer other questions. But so tomorrow, fingers crossed. We'll go through without issues and everything will be great. But what is this beautiful sunset over the lake? Isn't this nice?
Yes.
I don't even know what the name of this lake is. But if you look at the sign right here, it must have something to do with the North Dakota Fish and Game Department. So maybe the Corps of Engineers designed the lake, or maybe it was already here. I don't know.
I guess you got some research to do. I like to sleep out here. Reminds me of a nice Key West sunset.
This pier is on a floating dock, so it's moving around a little bit under your feet, but that would put me to sleep. Get a sleeping bag and curl up in it and just let the waves and the dock rock you to sleep.
I guess you can't fall out. There's a little cage.
Yeah.
So that's good. Got your little fishing pole holders. There's a couple different docks. Someone was taking in their pontoon boat earlier. They had a nice little day out.
The campsites in Canada too are, you can find some really off the beaten paths, smaller campgrounds, and you'll spend $10, 15, 20 bucks. They're cheap.
Do they have dump?
They're less expensive. Some do. And the ones that do will be a little more higher priced. The ones that have Wi-Fi will be more higher priced. But what they have that the States, it's hard to find, is that you'll just drive up on them and there'll be little mom and pop campgrounds, maybe 10 sites, 5 sites, but they're perfect for what you're doing. You're just trying to find one night to lay down. And they'll charge you 10 or 15, 20 bucks. Great. You'll have hookups. You may or may not have a dump site or a dump station. Either one would work. Every 3 or 4 days, if we could dump, that'd be great. In fact, we're hoping to do. We kind of have a plan of doing 500 miles a day, and we'd be up there in 5 days. So we're not trying to kill ourselves.
What you gonna do if they don't let us cross?
Then we'll come back here, maybe do another night, and develop another plan. Maybe we'll go to Montana, maybe we'll go down to Tennessee, maybe we'll go... There's a million other things to do. We just haven't really... We've tossed them around, but we really haven't locked them down because...
So we'll have to start next season's adventure season.
Yeah, we'll have to start next season's adventure this season.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen.
And maybe we'll just have to do a flight to Alaska instead of a drive to Alaska.
Poo.
Yeah, that's not much fun, and it's more expensive too. And you'd want to go in the winter. The flights in the summer are ridiculously priced.
I'll just say my prayers then.
Yeah, I mean, we should be fine. But anytime you get in question on whether you can proceed past, you're always going to be timid. You'll be like, oh, I'll worry about this or that. And it may not be nothing. But...
All right, well, I'll say my prayers tonight.
I'll say mine.
You wake up nice.
I've been saying them.
You wake up nice and chipper and in a good mood tomorrow. And the border people will do the same.
That's right. It'll be an aura. Aura will get us through. Okay. Happy aura. Happy passing.
Okay.
Enjoy your trip to Alaska, you fine couple.
All right, I guess we better...
Probably about 20, maybe 30 minutes.
Watch the rest of the sunset and
beautiful, isn't it?
Get planned up for the morning.
I wonder what kind of fish they have in here.
The kind that swim?
Well, I'm sure they stock it, so I don't know what they put in here.
Inquiring minds. Here we are getting super close to the north gate, and we've got a big goose in the road. And of course you can see all our mosquitoes all over the windshield. You can see the port of entry sign. Everybody said their prayers for a good morning here.
This thing, it's like really close.
we're coming up on it now. So as you can see, it might be closed, so Brett's gonna go find out. We made it through the border.
We did.
We're in Canada, eh?
Yeah, eh? So we did go through North Gate.
Very small gate.
Very small gate. We were there for an hour and a half. They did have some questions regarding my criminal history. It goes back 17 years. I'm not going to get into all the weeds, but I do have a misdemeanor offense of the lowest level. But the way Canada interprets that is a hybrid offense, which is really confusing to me because it's not black, it's not white, it's gray. Hybrid. The word hybrid kept coming up, and hybrid doesn't really make it any clearer, does it? I mean, it really makes it more murky water instead of clearing up the situation. But hey, he decided that I was redeemed because it had been over 10 years, although it does still come up in their system. At previous border crossings that I've done, they said after 10 years it falls off, so that's not true. I was misinformed. So he told me that. The guy was very nice. It just took them a long time. They had to pull a lot of history up.
He had to go inside twice.
I had to go inside twice and answer some questions and then wait out in the car. But then...
and I just sat out in the vehicle and prayed.
Yeah, it was a little tense because we're like, okay, we're not going to Alaska. Where are we going? Montana sounds nice.
I would have had to cry.
Yeah, but fortunately he came in. Now, he did say that we're going to face the same questioning session on the other side.
So we might not be ever coming back.
We might get stuck in Alaska and have to live there.
So we'll see when we get to that side of things, but we may never be back, Otter Creek.
But if they let you in, no, the gentleman's right. Another border agent 3 provinces away over British Columbia. We're in Saskatchewan. He doesn't have to go by anything that they said here, over there. But he will type up some stuff in his notes, and they will be able to pull it up and see that they let me in. The good thing is there's a greater chance of being allowed to go back because my home is on this side. They kind of have to, they don't have to, but they kind of want to let you get out of their country and go back home.
I will not be upset if I don't get to come back.
Since our home's in Florida, they're more inclined to let me pass through on the way back to get home than they are to let me go up. So this was good. This was good news. It's kind of like we saw the judge right there at the border station. And he has considered me to be redeemed. So that's it. Hour and a half later, we're in Canada.
Woohoo! I would have been so upset.
I would have been upset. We just would have had to refocus and figure out what else we're going to do.
I mean, there's plenty of other things to do, but that would have squashed my bucket list.
Yeah.
We would have had to fly to Alaska at another time, and that just wouldn't be the same at all.
No, driving is definitely, it's the experience of the voyage, and there's a lot of beautiful things in Canada. I have no ill will against Canada at all. They're a lot like Alaska. I think they're more like Alaska than they are like the lower 48. Because this whole country's in the cold. You know, they don't have any warm places in Canada except the summertime. So they're more like Alaska than they are like the lower 48. And 90% of their population, maybe even more, is within 2 hours of the U.S. border. Canada's a huge country, but most of it is is just open space. There's no...
Check out these wide open spaces.
Yeah, there's a lot of wide open spaces.
Even before we crossed the border in that section of North Dakota we were in, it was a lot of wide open spaces. So that is way cool. I love wide open spaces.
So we have been made aware of another situation. In the news yesterday, there is a forest fire at Fort Nelson, which we're a couple days travel away from Fort Nelson, maybe even 3 days travel away from Fort Nelson. But there's a forest fire up there that has Highway 97 blocked. Well, that's the front end of the outlet of the Canadian highway, and that's the route we were going to take. And it's by way the shortest route. So we're faced with a decision. There's only two ways to go up. The Cassiar Highway 37, I have done that. I did it in March. It was colder, it was slushy, sloppy. The roads are lesser improved. But it's been a while since I've taken that route. It's probably been almost 10 years. So maybe it's better. I would hope it's better. But it is a 450-mile stretch with no services. When I took it, there was one gas station at the top of the road, one gas station at the bottom, and they were both closed. So that's 500 miles with no gas. In the summer, though, there'll be a gas stop. It won't be as bad. And
while we're talking about gas prices, the last place we filled up before we crossed the border, the diesel was $3.59. Was that $3.59?
That's pretty good.
A gallon. So that was the last price that-a-ways. We filled up as close as we could, roughly. So we'll check back with the prices that we see. I know they're all going to be much higher. Just want to keep, I know everybody's always wanting to know what the gas prices were wherever we are.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that in there. But look at this.
It's beautiful. And it's going to get more mountainous, but
I am completely
it's not going to
stoked.
get, the mountains are not going to be real ridiculous today, but tomorrow they could start getting bigger.
Well, it should be interesting to see, I guess, how long we'll be traveling today, what our internet signal is. Wow, look at that. Horses. Just some peaceful living here. I wouldn't mind living like this.
Oh, look what my speed limit says. 80.
Speed limit's 80, eh?
I think they mean kilometers an hour, even though it doesn't say that.
What does that convert to?
I think it's 55, maybe 65.
Oh, darn. Not that we could go 80 anyway in this thing, so.
Tear this thing up. So, I usually cruise around 55 to 60 anyway. So.
When I was in Germany, I loved driving on the Autobahn. That was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the rental I had a governor on it, so you could only go so fast. But I think we were doing somewhere at one point between 100 and 120. I was trying to see exactly how fast we could go. That was when I was wishing we had a Lambo, because I was upset when they were passing me.
Do they have RVs on the Autobahn?
I don't remember seeing any RVs passing.
I visited Germany once, but I don't remember seeing any RVs.
Yeah, I saw RVs when I was in Israel.
Oh.
They had, some people were parked in RVs at the Dead Sea. There was a little campground at the Dead Sea, and then you would see people in the RVs at the beaches. So for the weekends, people would do little getaways at the beaches in their RVs. But you didn't see a whole lot, and I don't remember seeing any campgrounds in particular outside of that. But there was a few. sorry for our windshield. It's pretty terrible.
Yeah,
You might be trying to clean your TV screen, but those are our bugs, not yours.
Not yours.
We're
Try to
just
get
sharing
those.
them with you for a few.
Try to get those cleaned up at the next town.
I think we're going to need to do some serious scrubbing.
Yeah.
So
there are a lot of wildfires, going on in British Columbia up around Fort Nelson. So that's the northeastern section of British Columbia. Right now they have the road closed, but here in a little while, another hour or so, we should get an update on those fires to see if the road's open, if it's contained.
we'll keep saying our prayers for that.
I would almost rather kind of wait out our time in Canada, waiting for that road to open, because by going around it and using Highway 37, you're missing a lot of neat things to stop and look at. We'll miss Laird Hot Springs, you're going to miss Watson Lake, and those are two big things that people look at. So I'd kind of like to wait it out. It's 200 miles longer to use the Cassiar Highway. And that road is more sketch.
We'll see about that.
I'd rather just wait it out.
So I know a lot of people are interested in how the border crossing went and what kind of questions they ask you. I wasn't going to try to run video and further upset them, and you might not even be able to hear what they said anyway, because the audio wouldn't be that great. But he did ask if we had any guns, any cannabis, any weapons, any liquor, if we had any money over $10,000, any pets, any plants. Was there anything else?
I don't think so. Those were the basic things.
Just where you're going, how long you're going to be there, how long you plan to be in Canada, why you're coming, all those things.
Now, he did take a walk to the back of the coach and was looking at my hookup to the RV.
Yeah, because you do have to have a braking system when you're towing a vehicle.
He's probably looking for safety chains.
Now, he never did look at our registrations or insurance or anything like that. The only thing he did take from us was our passports.
Correct.
But as far as the questioning goes, the initial questioning wasn't anything out of the way.
No.
Just those questions I told you about. So it's nothing to be nervous about. I know a lot of people, and even we were nervous on the different attitudes and how that would turn out. But he was a nice gentleman.
He was nicer than any I've ever experienced previous.
So that was good. It was just the inside questioning and the length of time that provided a lot of anxiety. But prayer takes care of everything, because God is good.
God was with us today.
Yes, he was.